Let's give it up for Ram and Ashwin. What a joy it is to be here together this morning. Whether you're here in this sanctuary or joining with us from home online, welcome. I'm Abhijan Amanchi. I use pronouns he and him. For those who appreciate a visual description, I am a South Asian Indian male in my late 50s with mostly dark brown hair, a gray mustache, and beard that gets grayer by the day, wearing a salmon-colored kurta and a similar vest and blue pants. A very special welcome to our guests this morning. If this is your first time or 10th time or 100th or 1000th time, you are part of this community now. At Cedar Lane, love whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you're from, whatever your beliefs, your circumstance, your gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, or documentation status, you are welcome here. If you're new or still finding your way, we would love to know you. Online friends, please say hello in the chat and where you're joining from. And if you're here in person and feel comfortable doing so, please raise your hand so we can give you a warm Cedar Lane welcome. I know we have some newcomers today. Welcome. We're also really glad to have some special guests here with us this morning. Some who are here and others will be arriving shortly. We have Dr. Prabhu Selvam, who's here. Prabhu is running for an at-large council seat in our county. And also, we will welcome Montgomery County Council member Will Jawando shortly. He's on his way. His staff, Brenda, is also here. Will is running for county executive. And also, we will be welcoming Kate Chance, who is the interfaith liaison to the county executive, who will be also joining us momentarily. We're really glad you're all here. Cedar Lane does not endorse candidates, but we do make space for people who want to be in a community where love and justice matter. So, welcome. Also with us are our guest musicians, Ram Vishwanathan and Ashwin Baliga. They brought music with us that they're going to share, which is such a treat to have them here. Hello, Will. Welcome. I just finished introducing you, so let us welcome Will Jawando, council member. Listen, you're a little overdressed for today. Because we were really looking forward to just throwing some colors at you. All right. All right, folks, you heard it. After the service, join us in the fellowship hall for some food, conversation, and connection. And remember our mug code. Yellow means? Hello. And white means you're looking for someone new to greet them if they're holding especially a yellow mug. And we really care how you are doing, life transitions, pastoral concerns, or just saying hi. So please use the new connection card for both members and friends. You can find it online at tinyurl.com, CL Connection Card. It's a great way to let us know how you're doing. We're testing this out. And if you're thinking about belonging to this religious community as a member, please talk to Nicole Singer, our membership coordinator, or me after the service. So this is a multi-generational space, so I invite you to lean into it and move if you want to move, create if you want to create, and if you like worshiping with your hands, creative materials are available at the back. And if you need some care today, our caring ministry team, led by Gail Riley, is here for you. Thank you, Gail. So here's what's different about today. This is not our usual Sunday service, so there is no hymn sandwich today. What we've got are some samosas. We've got music in 5 Indian languages, elements you haven't seen or heard before here, and a flow that moves like the festival itself that we are celebrating. So this is Holi. This is color. This is joy. It is a little chaos, the good kind. And so I invite you to kind of go with the flow. Try not to read ahead because you won't understand the languages. Just be in the moment. Just allow the experience to flow through you. And these are all wonderful pieces of music and traditions that are just coming together to really center our value, our commitment to pluralism. And then after the service at 12:15, we'll be playing Holi in the lower parking lot. All you need to do is follow the signs. And if you brought a change of clothes, great. Hope you did. If not, it's okay too. We'll toss some colors and leave looking more rainbow than we started out with. Now, the spirit of Holi is about breaking boundaries, breaking down walls, and color doesn't care where it lands. So let's do that, not throw color now. Online friends, please drop a hello in the chat, and if you're here in this room, turn to someone you know and say, or don't know, and say, Namaste, neighbor.
वातापि गणपतिं भजे हूँ 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 वाराणस्यं वरप्रदं श्रीवाराणस्यं वरप्रदं श्रीवाराणस्यं वरप्रदं श्रीवातापि गणपतिं Bodhadizam sevita charano Bodhadizam sevita charano Buddha Bodhiga Prabhanja Varano Bodhadizam sevita charano Buddha Bodhiga Prabhanja Varano Vidaragino Vinadayogino Vidaraginam Vinadayoginam Vishwakaranam Vignavaranam Vidaraginam Vinadayoginam Vishwakaranam Vignavaranam Vadabhirna Vadyon Bhaje Varana Syovara Pradam Jivadabhirna Vadyon Pranava Swarupam Vakraturdo Pranava Swarupam Vakraturdo Nirantaro Nidila Chandra Kano Nijavamakara Vitriksheshu Dandam Karambuja Baja Vijaburam Karambuja Baja Vijaburam Kalusha Viduram Pudaharam Haradi Guru Guhadoshida Bimam Hansadwani Boshida Hiram Vada Birna Bhatyam Bhaje Varana Syovara Pradam Jivada
Is it beyond thee to be glad with the gladness of this rhythm?
To be tossed and lost and broken in the whirl of this fearful joy.
All things rush on, they stop not, they look not behind. No power can hold them back, they rush on.
Keeping steps with that restless, rapid music. Seasons come dancing and pass away.
Colors, tunes, and perfumes pour in endless cascades in the abounding joy that scatters and gives up and dies every moment.
Hello. Thank you. I'm David Devlin Foltz. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm glad to be with you this morning as your worship associate. I'm a white man with brown hair, glasses, and a salt and pepper beard, growing saltier as I grow more elder-ish. Today I am wearing a temporarily white turtleneck, pre-colors, and black jeans. In our tradition, we light a chalice to remember why we're here, the faith we share, the community we build together. Molly Hauk will light our chalice in the sanctuary. Come on up, Molly. If you're with us online, tell us in the chat where you're lighting your chalice. Now please rise in body and or in spirit and join me in our chalice lighting words. We light this chalice, a flame of presence and promise, of vibrant color and resilient hope. As the colors of Holi dance around us, may we remember to live with intention, to act with compassion, to let go, begin again, and rejoice in being alive. Let this be the day we throw joy into the sky and let love fall freely like color on everyone. Thank you.
आज खेल श्याम संग होरी रे, आज खेल श्याम संग होरी रे, पिचकारी रंग भर केसर की, आज खेल श्याम रंग होरी। कुंवर कन्हैया संग सखी राधा, कुंवर कन्हैया संग सखी राधा,
finally breaks in India, people don't ease into spring. It's actually summer right from winter, so it gets pretty hot. I mean, really hot. But you can feel something building, and then one day, instead of just noticing the weather, people go outside and start throwing color at each other. That's Holi. You know, it comes with the full moon, right when the air turns warm and the mango trees start to bud. And it's usually celebrated in early March. We celebrate it here in April when it is actually spring, when the cherry blossoms are out and the light has changed and even the ground smells different. Now, there are a couple of stories that people tell about Holi. Now, one of them is not simple. There's a king, Hiranyakashipu, nearly impossible to kill, and convinced that no one should question him. Who demands absolute loyalty, who lies all the time. Anyway, Hiranya has a son, Prahlad, and his son refuses to go along with this. He holds on to something his father cannot touch or control. And so the king tries everything: threats, punishment, public cruelty. Nothing works. So finally, he calls on his sister, Holika, said to be protected from fire. The plan is for her to sit in the flames with Prahlad and walk out intact. But when the fire burns down, she is gone, and Prahlad is still there. Now, that's the version that a lot of us grew up with in India. But not everyone hears the story that way. For many Dalit and Bahujan communities, this is not a story about evil being defeated. It's a story about who gets to tell the story. You see, Hiranya is remembered not as a villain, but as an Asura king, part of older indigenous traditions that were recast as enemies in later tellings, especially by the dominant community. Holika is not simply a figure of arrogance, but a woman, a sister, caught in something much larger than herself. And the fire people light the night before, for some communities, it does not feel like a celebration. It feels like remembering. So some step away from that ritual altogether, and others remember Holika differently, even honor her. So even here, more than one truth sits side by side. Now the other story moves differently. Krishna, a divine presence who takes on human form, shows up not as a distant god, but as a child raised by his adopted mother, Yashoda. He is dark-skinned, so dark that he appears almost blue. And at some point, he worries that Radha, his friend, won't play with him because of his skin color. So he goes to Yashoda with this, and she tells him, then change it. Put color on her face. So he does. And Radha laughs and answers him back, and something opens up. So the festival begins the night before with fire, as I said. People gather, they throw old things in, old grudges, hurts, and watch them burn. Then the next morning, everyone goes out. There's powder in the air. Water is flying, pink, yellow, green, purple, red. Streets fill up, music playing in the background, people running, shouting, laughing. And at some point, you stop trying to stay clean. You stop keeping track of who's who, and everyone is covered. And by the end of the day, people wash up, they go home, they sit down to eat, tell stories, and then something lingers. That feeling of the moment when everything opened up. Holi hai, it's holy.
என்ன தவம் செய்தனே என்ன தவம் செய்தனே யசோதா 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 எங்கும் நீரை பரபிரமோ அம்மா என்றழைக்க தவம் செய்தனே யசோதா எங்கும் நீரை பரபிரமோ அம்மா என்றழைக்க தவம் செய்தனே யசோதா எங்கும் நீரை பரபிரமோ அம்மா என்றழைக்க தவம் செய்த யசோதா ஈரேழு புவனங்கள் படைத்தவனே ஈரேழு புவனங்கள் படைத்தவனை கையிலேந்தி சீராட்டி பால் ஊட்டி தாலாட்ட நீரேழு புவனங்கள் படைத்தவனை கையிலேந்தி சீராட்டி பால் ஊட்டி தாலாட்ட என்னதவோ செய்தனே யசோதா எங்கும் நீரை பரபிரமோ அம்மா என்றழைக்க எனதவோ செய்த நீ பிரமனு என்றனோ பிரமனும் என்றனும் மனதில் போராமை கொள்ள பிரமனும் என்றனும் மனதில் போராமை கொள்ள உரலில் கட்டி வாய்ப்போத்தி கெஞ்ச வைத்தாய் உரலில் கட்டி வாய்ப்போத்தி கெஞ்ச வைத்தாய் கண்டனே உரலில் கட்டி வாய்ப்போத்தி கெஞ்ச வைத்தாய் தாயே தவோ செய்தனே யசோதா எங்கும் நீரே பரபிரமோ அம்மா என்றழைக்க தவோ செய்த யசோதா
Thank you, Ram. Brings back memories growing up. At Cedar Lane, announcements are not just a list of what's happening around campus. They are invitations, ways to step in, to meet people and be part of something that matters. If you have not kind of wandered through the fellowship hall or lingered here in the sanctuary before service, I hope you will do that after the service. Shanti Chandrasekhar's art show is now up, and it is really worth your time. Shanti's work, she is a local artist here in Montgomery County, lives somewhere between physics and psychology and imagination, between the ancient geometry of Kolam and Tanjavur paintings and contemporary forms, and somehow they all hold together. So I invite you to visit, linger, stay with it, because it will stay with you. So it's going to be a full week this week, something happening every day. So donations for our annual spring auction are due tomorrow, Monday, and tickets go on sale today. You can stop by the auction table to buy tickets, make donations, or volunteer. Wednesday is Welcome Wednesday, our monthly potluck conversation, a chance for members, friends, everyone to sit down with someone you've been meaning to talk to and get to know one another. You can sign up in the e-news or on Realm. Then Thursday at 7, join me for UU 101, 2,000 years of UU history in 2 hours. If you're curious how that happens, come find out in person or online. I try to make it as entertaining as possible. And then Friday night, we're showing Breaking Boundaries, Richard Attenborough's film for Earth Day. The doors will open at 6:30 and film at 7, and free popcorn, sponsored by Molly Houck. Next Sunday, April 19th, we welcome new members during our service, and then I hope you will stay. Mary Means and I will be in conversation in the library about her new memoir, Something Worth Saving. Mary writes about growing up closeted in the South, about loss and courage, and what it costs to hide, and what it finally takes to live honestly. You can sign up on Realm. Also, next Sunday we gather at 2:30 in the chapel to celebrate the life of Patrick Howell. Now, April 25th is one of those Cedar Lane days where everything seems to happen all at once. In the morning, we will join rebuilding project at the National Center for Children and Families. This is Rebuilding Together Day. Painting, landscaping, real practical care. You can sign up, again, in the e-news. And also that morning, Ashwin and his friend Brian Eubanks will be doing a Raga sound bath retreat in the chapel. And it's a wonderful way to relax, rest, and do some of the inner work. And I hope you will join us. And that evening, we will host our annual benefit concert, which is the Ruby Bridges Suite, about the 6-year-old who walked into history with a courage most of us can barely imagine. The concert will support the work of Congregation Action Network, immigrant justice work that we are already a part of. Now, there's a lot more in the e-news. There usually is. So if you're not subscribing to it, please do. You can do that on our website. And don't just read it, step in, because there's always something that's there for you. And now let's turn toward one another and hold and share our joys and sorrows.
This quiet time together, I invite you to pause. Take a breath. Let it out slowly. Feel yourself here, safe and surrounded by this circle of care. This is a moment to honor the fullness of life, the joys that gladden our hearts, the sorrows that weigh heavily, the questions we carry within. All of it is welcome. You are held here. Within our Cedar Lane community, Molly Hauk, longtime Cedar Lane congregant, will be leaving us all too soon to return to her roots in Massachusetts. This is Molly's last Sunday with us. Molly and Charlotte Brewer co-founded Cedar Lane's Environmental Justice Ministry. Molly, you will be sorely missed. We wish you well in your next chapter. And we thank you and other members of the Environmental Justice Ministry who have served our congregation so well over the years. Thank you all. We send healing wishes to Doug Mader, who is obviously recovering well after a heart attack last week. That's indomitable, Doug Nader. We hold Reverend Richard Nugent and Eileen Kane in our hearts, grieving with them the sudden loss of their son Asa on March 31st. We hold all who are carrying grief, worry, or uncertainty, those living with chronic pain, those facing illness, seen or unseen, those caring for loved ones who are ill or nearing the end of life, those navigating the search for safety, dignity, and healing. Our hearts reach further still. We pause for a moment of relief and wonder as the astronauts of Artemis II return safely from their journey around the moon. And we hold the people living in the shadow of war and violence, the people of Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, the West Bank, Ukraine. We pray for healing, for peace that is just and lasting, and for the courage to be part of making it so. Now, if you'd like, rise with us in body or simply in spirit. Speak the names you're carrying today or share them in the chat. And let us rest here together just for a moment in silence, in solidarity, in love. You are invited now to share the names of the loved ones that you are holding in remembrance or in care in the chat. Thank you. Today we come to a familiar ritual, but hold it a little differently. On the table, you'll find colored stones. Each one carries something of Holi: color, possibility, the reminder that nothing is fixed forever. When you're ready, come forward and choose a stone. Hold it for a moment. Let it carry what you've brought today: a joy, a sorrow, a prayer, a name, a hope. Then place the stone in the bowl of water, and as it touches the surface, imagine it releasing color, something real, spreading outward, moving through every life in this room. What we carry can change. It can be shared. It can be transformed. You are welcome to come forward now.
I invite us to center for a moment, bringing our mind, body, and spirit into the space made sacred by our presence and the presence of the Holy, known by many names, in which we live, move, breathe, and have our being. Return to your breath. Let your eyes close or soften your gaze. Let your hands rest open in your lap. Feel the weight of your body in the chair, your feet on the floor. You are here. Breathe in slowly, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, breathing in, breathing out. With each breath, let yourself settle a little more. Unhook that garment of busyness. Set it aside for now. You don't have to hold anything. You don't have to figure anything out. Just this breath. Just this moment. Just this room full of people breathing with you. Breathing in, breathing out. Let your awareness move gently through your body, your face, your shoulders, your chest. Wherever you've been holding tension, just notice it. You don't have to fix it, just breathe into it. Make a little room. Breathe in and out. With each exhale, let go whatever you've been gripping. Just a little. The worry, the grief, the weight of the week. Let your breath carry it. Let this circle share it with you. You're not carrying this alone. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I relax. Breathing in, I am calm. Breathing out, I release. As we close this time together, I invite you to receive these ancient words. Let them move through you like breath, like water, like the color we have been sitting with this morning. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrutyormam amrutangamaya, aviravirmayedi rudra yatte dakshinam mukham Te namam pahi nityam. Lead us from what is fleeting to what endures, from confusion to understanding, from separation to wholeness. O compassionate one, reveal your gentle face. We bow to you. Hold us in your care. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Tidarana tanana Tidarana Dirana Tarana Dom Tanana Dirana Tanana Dirana Tanana Dirana Tanana Dirana Dirana Diranirano Diranirano Diranirana Diranirano Diranirano Diraratarana Tanana Tanana Tana Dirano Tanana Dirana Tarana Tarana Tanana Tana Dirano Tanana Dirana Tarana Tarana Tanana Tanana Danana Dom Danana Dom Danana Dom Tanana Dirana No Na
Each Sunday, we give and receive an offering to sustain the mission and ministry of Cedar Lane and support the mission and ministry of organizations that are in alignment with our mission. And today, we're sharing the plate with a community that is doing important and wonderful work, color work, not just with colors, but with courage. During my sabbatical in February 2025, I spent time with Vikalp in Gujarat, India. Vikalp means alternative. And at Vikalp, I sat with their co-founders, Indira and Maya, who I think are joining us on YouTube this morning. They started their work nearly 30 years ago. And I also spent time with a group of trans men, rural, urban, different languages, different stories, all carrying the same question: how do I live with dignity in a world that doesn't know what to do with me? Now, I got to Vikalp through my friend Mahesh Upadhyay, who is a friend of Cedar Lane, a longtime organizer. He's also a Unitarian Universalist and someone who knows that landscape inside and out. Mahesh opened those doors and helped me see what I was looking at. And here's what I saw. The struggle, it's daily. Standing in a government office trying to get an ID that matches who you are, being told to come back again and again, and invasive questions, approval demanded from people with no right to decide your life. And this is where Vikalp shows up, right there. This past year, they helped submit more than 20 transgender identity applications, not just paperwork, but walking people through ID cards, passports, school certificates, bank records, every document that determines whether one can work, rent a home, see a doctor. They sit in those offices, they push back when officials don't know the law, and they keep going when the process tries to grind people down. Now, that's just one piece. Across Gujarat, Vikalp holds community meetings for trans men, partners, and queer youth on hormone therapy, safety, mental health, navigating families and jobs, crisis shelters when someone flees an abusive home, housing and food when a couple is trying to build a life together. They negotiate with families, with the police, with systems that often do more harm than good. They help support Dalit women's courts to shape justice that actually fits people's lives, rural health programs reaching thousands with HIV testing and care in places where access is scarce and stigma runs deep. This is really building an alternative as a practice. And so I keep thinking about this day on Holi, because Holi tells us that lines that divide us are not fixed. The world can be remade. And at Vikalp, I saw that embodied, small, stubborn, and real. A young trans man holding an ID that finally says who he is. A group learning to care for each other. A woman walking out on violence into something new. Communities that refuse to disappear. That's their color. So give generously this morning, because your dollar goes a long way in India. I think it's 95 rupees right now, thanks to inflation. Let's give in solidarity. The morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Hello. Can I get a little more vocal, please?
A little more, Mike. A little bit more volume on mine, please.
Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Daya Nidhan, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Daya Nidhan, Prananatha, Prananatha, Anatha Sakhe, Prananatha, Anatha Sakhe, Deena Dard Nivar, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Daya Nidhan, Hey Daya Nidhan, Hey Daya
Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Uddhara Mam Dino, Adidino, Balahino, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Uddhara Mam Dino, Adidino, Balahino, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, Uddhara Mam Dino, Adidino, Balahino,
Govinda, Hey Gopal, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Hey Govinda.
Wow. So, Holi does not begin with color. It begins with a child in danger. Krishna, an incarnation of Vishnu, is born into a world that has already made up its mind about him. Before he draws his first breath, his uncle, King Kamsa, is afraid of him, not of who he is yet, but of who he might become, of what his life might mean, of what it might cost those who are comfortable with the way things are. And so the order goes out, kill the children. End the story before it begins. Now, last week, our Jewish siblings sat around the Passover table and told a story that begins in the same place. A Pharaoh afraid of children, an order to kill them, a mother who hides her son, a river that carries him to safety. Moses, Krishna, born centuries and continents apart into the same story. Because it is always the same story. Power afraid of what it cannot control, and love refusing to let that be the ending. We've all heard this story before, not just in scripture, in history, in the news. We cannot stop reading even when it breaks us open. Power, when it's afraid, has always gone after the small and the vulnerable first. The children of Gaza know this story. The children of Lebanon know it. The children of Iran and Ukraine and India and the US and the Congo and Sudan know it. Children who had names and families and whole futures that belonged to them. Children whose parents carried them across every river and sea and desert they could find and still could not keep them safe. The order goes out in every age, in every language. End the story before it begins. So when I tell you Holi begins with a child in danger, I'm not speaking only of myth. I'm speaking of now, of this morning, of what we are carrying into this room today. But in the middle of all that, a family makes a choice. In the middle of the night, in the middle of a raging storm, Krishna's father, Vasudeva, lifts him and carries him to the river. The waters are rising. It's in the middle of a hurricane. The way forward is anything but clear. Everything is at risk. And still he goes one step after another until the child is safe on the other side with his adopted mother, Yashoda. And that is where Holi begins. Not in celebration, not yet. It begins in a fragile, stubborn, desperate act of love. A refusal to let fear write the ending. Now, earlier this morning, Ashwin and Ram opened the service by singing us right into that story. Aaj kelo shyam sang hori in Brajbhasha. Let's play Holi today with Krishna. But before the playing, before the color, there is that river, Yamuna. There is the night and the water and a father's arms and a child who was not supposed to survive. Now, the tabla that Ram played beneath the melody was not just accompaniment there, it was a heartbeat, the pulse of something that refused to stop. Now, Krishna grows up under that shadow. He's not untouched by the danger he was born into. You see, nobody is. We carry the rivers we have crossed. We carry the fear that chased us, and yet his life becomes something that surprises us. Music, mischief, joy. Krishna plays, Krishna dances, he steals butter, he gathers people in delight. Not because the danger has disappeared, but because he refuses to let it be the whole story. And then there is Radha. Krishna, born into danger and carried through the night, grows up and does something risky and vulnerable. He takes color in his hands and smears it across Radha's face, laughing. And she laughs back and reciprocates, and suddenly the whole village is into it. Everyone drenched, nobody untouched. This is the point of the story, that the child who survived becomes someone capable of joy so expansive it spills into everyone around him. That love, when it is real, makes a glorious mess. It colors everything it touches. Now, Ram sang to us of that Krishna in Tamil. Ennatavam Seidanai. What penance, what grace that Yashoda got to hold the one who created 14 worlds, got to rock him, nurse him, tie him to a past when he misbehaved. The composer, Papanasan Sivan, understood something that theology alone cannot quite reach, that the sacred is not distant and untouchable. It is close. It is carried, it is held in human arms and sung to sleep. The divine shows up not as power, but as a child who needs protection. That is not a small thing. That is the whole thing. And then just now, Ashwin and Ram together, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala, moving through Hindi and Sanskrit, Raga Malika, weaving one raga, one genre into another, the way life weaves one moment into the next, nothing fixed, everything in motion. Govinda, Gopala, the one who lifts us up, the one who protects, the one who sees the broken and the tired and the lost and does not look away, the one who, the old texts tell us, stands between the vulnerable and the thing that would destroy them. Now we need that image right now. Not as comfort that lets us off the hook, as a mirror, as a call, as a challenge. Now I want you to look behind me. Shanti's mural has been holding this space all morning. It fills this room with color and form and a fierce, quiet beauty. Satyam Shivam Sundaram is the name of that mural. Truth, holiness, beauty. Now it's not just background. It is a statement. It asks something of everyone who sees it, and it doesn't ask gently. Satyam, truth. The truth is that people are dying. The power responds to what it cannot control with overwhelming, indiscriminate force. That we are living in a moment in that history will judge us. And the judgment will turn on what we did and what we chose to be silent about. So Shanti's mural does not look away from this because color does not flinch. Shanti, Satyam, is not comfortable truth. It is the truth we would rather not carry, but cannot put down. Shivam, that which is holy, life-giving, worthy of protection. Vasudeva in the dark water, one step, then another, his child held above the current. Moses in a basket carried by the same current that threatened to take him. Every parent who has shielded a child with their own body, every act of care in a time of destruction that says life matters. I will not let it be unmade. Sundaram, beauty, not decoration, beauty as insistence, beauty as resistance, Krishna smearing color across Radha's face, laughing and the whole village joining in. The colors of Holi thrown in the air, not because everything is fine, but because life is still worth celebrating. Because even with the whole exhausted, burning world pressing in, we are here in this room with this music, with this color on the wall, insisting that beauty still belongs to us, that it has not been taken, that it will not be. So what is Holi asking of us this morning? Not to feel better, not to set the grief down and pick up the joy as if they are interchangeable. It is asking us to hold both, to be people who can look at what is true without turning away and still choose life that is life-giving, who can insist on beauty not as an escape, but as spiritual resistance. You see, when the world is organized around fear, joy becomes resistance. Color becomes resistance. Love becomes resistance as a practice, as a daily, costly, necessary choice to refuse to become only what the hardest moments have made us. And going beyond fear means refusing to let it be the only force shaping us, telling the truth about the world, the whole truth, and then choosing to protect something beautiful in it anyway, carrying each other across whatever river is in front of us. We have always been part of that story. The poet James Broughton, who I quoted last week, knew something about this. He called it big joy, and he prayed to it like a saint. Here's another poem. Big joy, have mercy upon us. Deliver us from droop, from flinch, fuss, and squirm, sham, shame, and dither. Oh, big joy, rescue us from the petty, the inane, the vacuous, the mediocre, and the triumphantly stupid. Amen. And then, as if answering his own prayer, he writes, come forth unabashed, come out unbuttoned, bury belligerence, resurrect frolic. Only through body can you dance with the God. Trust one another or drown. Trust one another or drown. There it is. That is what Holi is asking of us this morning. Not to be unafraid, but to trust one another anyway, to throw color anyway, to show up tired and uncertain and even sometimes crabby, barely holding it together, and resurrect a little frolic nevertheless. So, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, not just art on a wall, a way of moving through this world to tell the truth, protect what is sacred, insist on beauty, and carry one another across whatever river is in front of us for as long as it takes. Because we are still here, and we ain't going anywhere. And that is worth everything. Holi hai.
Friends,
Hello.
um, the next piece that we'll be doing is an interactive piece. Before we start, we wanted to make this more of an interactive piece. So for this one, whenever we sing the line, so it's basically a bhajan. So a bhajan, typically when we sing a line, we have the followers repeat that line the way that the singer does it. But to make it a little bit more simplified, because I know that for most of you it would be the first time taking part in this bhajan, we do request that you all join whenever this line is being sung. So I'll just do it one time, but obviously Ashwin will be the one they'll be singing this. I'll be playing tabla. So it would be Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana. So that's basically the line.
Easy.
I just realized. So I just want to be able to do it one time. So I would sing, and then I would just ask the congregation to be able to join in repeating that line after me. Oh, can we have the Tanpura on, please? There we go. Thank you. Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana.
Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana.
One more time. Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana.
Govinda Gopala Hari. Do one more time.
One more time. Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana.
Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana.
Basically, what all of you have been able to chant is Krishna's name, and that energy, especially with the acoustics over here, it will definitely resonate. And as Reverend Janamanchi had said, we ain't going nowhere. Right? So this is a very powerful prayer to Krishna, as well as just God, regardless of whichever deity that you pray to, that we call out your name, we invoke your blessings, we take on the vibrations, and like color, we want to release these vibrations, these positive vibrations, out everywhere. Not just physically, but metaphorically speaking. So that would be the first thing I would want to be able to do. The second is we're going to be doing one slow, the entire bhajan slow. And then afterwards, I wanted to be able to do just a fun clapping interactive piece with you guys. So I wanted to be just kind of like, it feels like kind of back in grade school when the teacher wanted to be able to get our attention. So whenever we want to be able to do basically like that. So we will be doing this bhajan slow. Afterwards, we can have the interactive clapping, and then we would be able to do this bhajan faster. And for those of you that are comfortable doing this, totally understand if you're not comfortable, but it would definitely be more energetic and definitely bring on more of those vibes, as the kids like to be able to call it. To be able to make this a little bit more on the energetic lens. So feel free to be able to join us in this. This is Harimana. This is a bhajan that's in the language, and it's a Marathi bhajan. Very popular, and it is a popular bhajan that invokes Krishna's blessings, and the vibrations are definitely there, and I'm sure all of you will definitely feel it, especially during the faster rhythmic side of things. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Can I get a little more mic on this, please? हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायणा हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायणा हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायणा गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायणा गोविंद गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण श्याम म्हणा घन श्याम म्हणा राधे श्याम म्हणा मेघा श्याम म्हणा श्याम म्हणा घन श्याम म्हणा राधे श्याम म्हणा मेघा श्याम म्हणा गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण श्याम म्हणा घन श्याम म्हणा राधे श्याम म्हणा मेघा श्याम म्हणा श्याम म्हणा घन श्याम म्हणा राधे श्याम म्हणा मेघा श्याम म्हणा गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण एव्हरीबडी गोविंद गोपाल हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण हरी म्हणा तुम्ही गोविंद म्हणा तुम्ही गोपाल म्हणा हरी नारायण गोविंद गोपाल 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 हरी नारायण
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So, Ram, Ashwin, that feels like a Mangalam right there. So, this Mangalam means the conclusion of an experience. So, while we had something else planned, I think this feels whole. Yeah. So, go in peace, go making peace, live gently, love mightily, love colorfully, and bow to the mystery. May it be so. And let's together say, Holi, hey! All right, let's go celebrate.